After 21 years of trying, Uduak finally conceived. She was so happy that she almost informed the entire world about it. For days, she walked around with a glow that refused to dim, whispering prayers over her womb and thanking God for remembering her at last. For years, her name had been spoken with pity in town. Some called her the barren one. Others pretended kindness while measuring her worth by the emptiness of her womb. She had endured endless herbal mixtures, night vigils, hospital visits, and well-meaning but painful advice that cut deeper than insults. Many times she had returned home from celebrations early, unable to watch another woman cradle what she longed for. When she finally told her husband, Etim, she expected shock, maybe tears of joy, maybe praise to God. But instead, his face drained of color. His hands trembled, not with joy, but with fear. He locked the door, lowered his voice, and said words that sliced through her happiness like a blade. Uduak, he whispered, this pregnancy must not stay. She laughed at first, thinking he was joking, but Etim did not laugh back. If you don't terminate this pregnancy, he said firmly, I will divorce you. Uduak thought she misheard him. Divorce? After 21 years of waiting? After all the mockery, the tears, the prayers, the hospital visit, the nights they held each other and cried? She begged him to explain, but Etim said nothing. No reason, no anger, just a firm, frightening silence. Desperate and confused, Uduak began to seek help. She spoke to pastors, men of God who had prayed with them for years. She ran to her parents, then to Etim's parents. Everyone was shocked. The same man who had begged God for a child for 2 decades was now threatening to leave his wife because that prayer had been answered. They called meetings upon meetings. They fasted. They pleaded. Why? They asked Etim again and again. Why now? Why this child? But Etim kept saying the same thing. Nothing. It's nothing. Leave it. You won't understand. Each time he said nothing, the room grew heavier. His eyes avoided theirs. His hands shook. His nights became restless. The pressure mounted until the day the silence could no longer hold. The camel's back finally broke. One day, after weeks of trying to get the reason out of Etim, in a room filled with elders, pastor and family members, Etim broke down into a chair and began to cry like a child. His voice cracked as he spoke, confessing a secret he had buried for decades. When he was younger, poor, desperate, hungry for success, he made a terrible choice. He had gone somewhere he should never have gone. He wanted riches, he wanted a name, and he was given a promise. Wealth would come, doors would open, his hands would never be empty. But there was a condition. If you ever desire a child, he was told, you will never have one. And if a child ever comes, the voice warned, it must not live. The room went silent. The pregnancy Uduak carried was not just a miracle, it was a violation of an ancient promise Etim had made in ignorance and greed. And now he was terrified. Terrified that keeping the child would cost him everything he had built. Uduak listened to everything in silence. When Etim finished speaking, Uduak stood up slowly. Her hands rested on her belly, steady, protective. When she spoke, her voice did not shake. I am not terminating this pregnancy. Gaps filled the room. She turned to Etim, her eyes calm but firm. If this child is not affiliated to you, she said quietly, then I will raise the child alone. I accept the divorce. I have waited 21 years for this life. I will not kill it to save a marriage built on secret. You of all people know how much I always wanted a child of my own, how much I love children. You have a secret like this and you never told me. I don't care what happens. I am keeping it. Etim staggered back as though struck. His mother fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "Please, my child," she cried, "don't say that. Don't keep this pregnancy. Don't let the divorce happen. If you go ahead with this child, our son will die." Uduak's heart pounded, but she did not move. Etim's father spoke next, his voice broken with guilt. "We knew," he confessed. "We warned him when he was young. We begged him not to take that path, but he was stubborn. Now the price has come due." Uduak looked at the people before her, people who had watched her cry for years, who had prayed with her, who had told her to wait on God. Now the same people were asking her to give up the very miracle they once begged heaven for. "So," she said slowly, "my child must die so your son can live?" No one answered. Tears rolled down her cheeks, but her voice grew stronger. "If Etim must die because of what he did, then let him face it with repentance, not by spilling innocent blood. This child did not make any covenant. I did not make any covenant." She faced Etim one last time. "I choose my child," she said. "Whatever follows, I leave it in God's hand." Etim screamed in frustration. His parents wailed, and the pastors fell into prayers. But Uduak walked out of that room with her head high, carrying both her unborn child and a courage she never knew she possessed.